Hi, everybody. Good morning, or just turning afternoon. This is Father David Archibald. I'm from St. Andrew's Episcopal Church. I'm the priest here, and for about 10 minutes, Monday through Thursday, we do this little devotional. It's a version of what the monastics would have called your noonday prayers. There'll be a little prayer practice at the end, and a little short devotional beginning right now. I'm trying an experiment with myself, practicing on myself in my own daily life, and the practice is this. I try to see how long I can go, how many minutes or seconds I can go without engaging and attaching to a negative thought. It's funny how difficult that can be. From the moment I wake up in the morning, literally from when my feet touch the floor and I begin my little morning routine, even if I don't act something out, often I find myself almost like a magnet attracted to some kind of a negative thought. Could be a negative memory, like if I remember something that upset me, or often I can imagine the future and maybe just what's happening at the next part of the day, or I have a complaint about someone, a complaint or something. Oftentimes it's an interpretation of a particular set of circumstances, and I interpret it in a negative way. But it's fascinating to watch. As soon as I open my eyes in the morning, then it's almost like the power is turned on, my little magnet is turned on, and I begin to attract negativity or negative thinking or individual negative scenarios to me. So try it yourself. Spirituality and being a disciple of Jesus is always about having a sense of the Holy Spirit as your center and your anchor, or in different language, to live with a little Christ inside you, to embody the Christ, be the hands of God, be the feet of God. But that requires a different operating system, a different level of consciousness in your brain. So, try to see how long you can go before some negative thought occurs to you. And the most really fantastic and quite enjoyable thing happens when I do it right. By watching the thoughts, by becoming aware of them, by sensing them, by simply cataloging them, I find that as soon as I see them or observe them or watch them, if they were metal filings coming towards me and I was the magnet, when I turn on the observing switch and the watching switch, that stops their approach to me. If they were coming towards me as if I were a magnet and they were the metal filings, when I turn on my observer switch, my watching switch, and I shift consciousness, to use a fancy term, then those metal filings, those negative thoughts, they drop out of the air and they don't get all the way to me. Almost as if it were, you remember Neo in the movie when they're shooting bullets at him, the bad guys are shooting ammunition at him, and he is able to see the bullets coming and he holds up his hand and they stop before they enter his body. By being able to observe these negative thoughts, negative thinking, just like those bullets from the famous movie with Neo, the bullets drop out of the air in front of him at his feet. Well, that's my experience so far of what it's like to be the watcher and the observer of all these large and small negative thoughts. So take a chance and give it a try. See how long you can go without some negative intuition or interpretation or a complaint or a blaming somebody happens to you. And before it has a chance to really take root and you go off actually having absorbed and living out that negative thought, see if by becoming the observer and the watcher and witnessing what's actually going on in your head, you can stop them and let them fall to the ground at your feet before they do damage to you and strike you. So give it a try. How long can you go? Observe what's happening in your head. The Buddhists would call this a watch your mind or being watchful. In the Christian tradition, St. Paul says that the evil one is like shooting arrows at you, or the one translation is throwing darts at you. So I find if you pay attention and watch the negative thoughts that can come your way, those darts, those flaming arrows, as Paul describes them, they fall from the air and they drop to your feet. And that feels really good. It's tremendous to have that kind of life, because I find most of the time negative thoughts have great power to attach to me, almost like Velcro. So whether you use that analogy of the iron filings coming toward you like you're a magnet turned on, or you use the biblical image of flaming darts or flaming arrows coming at you, or you use the modern day mythology of Neo from the movie The Matrix, well, all of them are telling you the truth, the human experience of how we are overwhelmed oftentimes by our own habitual negative commentary. Well, having said all that, let's do our practice for the day. Our little prayer practice takes about 2 minutes. Use the screen and you can see a visual, or you can turn on your audio as well and use the audio. And we will breathe in and breathe out and practice the presence of God. And it'll probably help us shift our awareness. It's a little form of contemplative prayer. So let's begin.
For many of us, this moment feels chaotic and terribly stressful. Join us for a few moments to turn inward and connect to your innermost you. Gently close your eyes and feel the gentleness of breath inside your body as you repeat these words. My deepest me is love. My deepest me is whole. My deepest me is limitless. My deepest me is infinite. My deepest me is compassion. My deepest me is sacred. My deepest me is mystery. My deepest me is forgiveness. My deepest me is beauty. My deepest me is God. My deepest me has knowledge to give. I open my heart and listen.